The film Dreamboi 2025, directed by Radina Singh, follows Diwa, a trans woman living in Metro Manila who feels trapped between desire and invisibility. She works in an office where her life feels ordinary yet heavy, surrounded by unspoken judgment and loneliness. In her small rented room, she listens to audio erotica late at night, anonymous recordings of sexual encounters that bring her comfort, fantasy, and a sense of being part of something intimate. Through these sounds, she reconnects with a part of herself she had long buried, the part that wants to be seen, desired, and loved. One night, Diwa discovers a hidden space under her office building, a neglected basement toilet that secretly functions as a meeting place for men seeking anonymous sex. She becomes a silent observer, watching from behind cracked doors and shadows. The secrecy of the place draws her in, and slowly, her curiosity turns into an obsession. The dark corners of that underground space mirror her own hidden desires. The sounds of pleasure she hears there begin to blend with the audio recordings she listens to at home, blurring the lines between fantasy and reality. She soon realizes that the voice from her favorite audio porn tracks belongs to one of the men who visits that basement, a mysterious performer known only as Dreamboi. His voice, deep and magnetic, is the same one that has been living in her ears for months. For Diwa, this discovery is electric. Dreamboi becomes her fantasy made flesh, the man who exists both in sound and in life. She begins to follow him, watch him, and imagine herself in the stories he creates. What started as listening turns into longing, what was once private becomes dangerously real. At work, Diwa's life remains routine but is slightly interrupted by Maki, a charming and open-minded coworker who shows her kindness and flirtatious attention. His easy presence offers her a glimpse of what a normal, affectionate relationship could feel like. Yet even as Maki's interest grows, Diwa finds herself unable to escape the pull of Dreamboi. The fantasy feels stronger than reality, safer, more intoxicating, more alive. Through Dreamboi, she explores the edges of her identity, her body, and her power. She begins to imagine not just being desired, but being the one who controls desire. Lilith, another figure in the film, represents Diwa's hidden, fearless self, a woman who exists without shame or fear. Lilith is both real and imagined, appearing in moments of Diwa's deepest sexual and emotional awakenings. She embodies everything Diwa wishes she could be: confident, sensual, unapologetic. These visions and fantasies become Diwa's way of confronting her repression and pain. The film uses shifting light, whispers, and sound design to make viewers feel as if they are inside Diwa's mind, caught between real life and dream. As the story progresses, the boundaries between Diwa's fantasies and the outside world collapse. She becomes more daring, sometimes even stepping into the sexual world she once only observed. Yet with that freedom comes confusion and fear. In one of the film's most emotional scenes, she rides a jeepney and experiences an unexpected wave of desire triggered by a stranger's closeness, only to break down moments later as the weight of her longing crashes over her. It's a small moment that captures the film's heart, the collision of desire, shame, and self-awareness. Diwa's fixation on Dreamboi eventually leads her to face herself. She realizes that her longing for him is not just about attraction, it's about the need to be seen, to exist beyond invisibility. Dreamboi is not just a man, he's a mirror reflecting everything Diwa wants to believe about herself. By watching him, she learns to see her own desires as valid, even sacred. Her obsession transforms into a kind of liberation, painful but necessary. The film ends not with resolution but with quiet understanding. Diwa remains alone, but she has changed. Whether she is sitting in the basement, listening to another recording, or staring into a mirror, there is peace in her stillness. She has faced the part of herself that the world told her to hide. The shame has softened, and the silence now holds meaning. Dreamboi is no longer just a fantasy voice, he is a chapter in her awakening. Dreamboi is not a typical erotic film. It uses sexuality as language, not spectacle. It is about longing, loneliness, and the courage to be seen as who you are. The film treats desire as a form of truth, messy, complicated, and deeply human. Diwa's story is not one of perfect love or happy endings, but of self-recognition. In a world that refuses to look at her, she finally looks at herself, and that act alone becomes her quiet victory.